Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Books a la Mode. I know that this one is very late, but I still wanted to sit down and film it for you guys. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of an update, just kind of letting you know how this series is going to change. I know we only have 3, but trust me, we'll have more. We'll have more. So basically, I wanted to talk to you about the book, but I also wanted to let you know that instead of going and instead of filming the introduction of the book and then 2 weeks later filming the review of the book and then another introduction, I'm just going to be introducing the books on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook and Goodreads. So I'll put the links down for all of those places down below so you can always keep up with me. Also, if you are a friend of mine on Goodreads, then you'll always know what I'm reading because it'll always say currently reading. I update that. I am very religious about updating my books and stuff like that because obviously books are a passion of mine. So today I'm just going to be talking about The Curse. It's not going to be an introduction of the next book. The next book I will be putting up on Snapchat the day that this video goes up, which will hopefully be tomorrow. So today's review is of The Curse. It is the 3rd book in the Bellador series from Diana Love and Sherilyn Kenyon. It took me to be honest, again, I do these every 2 weeks so that they're not rushed and they're not all bunched together and stuff like that. But if I were to do these real time, I read these books in about 3 to 4 days. So you'd get one a week, which I know is not everybody's reading speed, I guess. And I know that there are people out there who read much faster than I do. Like, do not get me wrong. Like, I know people who can like knock out books in a day. So I by no means am I bragging about how fast I can read. I just know that a book a week is not realistic for pretty much everybody else in the world. So I do it every 2 weeks. Sometimes that's not even realistic for a bunch of people, but that's our pace here. So for those of you who are new, welcome. You should probably go and watch the other 2. There's going to be annotations up here, and you should probably go and watch my other 2 and go read the other 2 books before you come to this one, because it is a series, and I have to say I regret starting this series with this series. With the Bellador series. Not that it's a bad series, but it's not accessible necessarily to everyone, or not relatable to everybody. Not everybody likes the whole sci-fi sort of romancy genre, and I kind of wish that I had picked something a little bit more mainstream, maybe, like The Goldfinch, or Girl on the Train, or Gone Girl, or All the Light They Cannot See, or something like that. I have all of those books in my collection, and I wanted to start with something light and something fun and a series so that we could kind of go on this journey together. But I actually kind of regret doing that now. But I'm really hoping that those of you who are keeping up with this are having a good time with it and that you are following along and you are enjoying. Please Snapchat me stuff, Instagram, especially like Twitter, tweeting me stuff is a surefire way to let me know that you're reading the book and stuff like that. All of the Bellador books for me are going to be on Kindle just because I started them on Kindle and I'm going to continue them on the Kindle. I believe that we have about 4, maybe 5 books to go in the series. So we still, have a couple of months in this series, but as soon as we're done, I'm going to be going on to some other more broad range, kind of just in like the fiction, maybe a little bit of sci-fi genre, not so romancy. And a lot of people have said to me that these are kind of girly books, that guys really wouldn't read them. But I will say that's the great thing about a Kindle is nobody can tell you what you're reading by the back of your Kindle. Oh my god, the back of my Kindle is just probably one of my favorite parts about Sherilyn Kenyon books. And obviously Diana Love is the main producer of the book, but Sherilyn Kenyon did have her hand in it. And I think that something that Sherilyn Kenyon does very, very well is create prophecies or create quotes from books that you've never even heard of because they're made up, but something that you would think is real. And I just really enjoy that aspect of the very beginning of this book. It's literally the first page is location 50. It's literally like one of the first pages in this book, and it's the prophecy of Cathbad the Druid. And it literally kind of describes the... That was my phone. It literally describes the kind of the whole plot of what the Maeve are trying to do. I will say I don't really know how to pronounce a lot of the stuff here. It is a little bit hard for me. I have to look up a lot of stuff. So if I pronounce anything a little bit different than you, don't think that I'm right and you're wrong or anything like that. That's just the way that I pronounce it and the way that I hear it in my head and the way that I read it in my head. So that's that. But there is normally a glossary in the back that kind of breaks everything down for you, so that's definitely helpful. I really enjoyed this book. I love seeing Aval really open up to Storm. I really, really hope that something goes with them. I absolutely dislike Isaac Knight. Like, that man... I have to like calm myself whenever I start reading about him because he pisses me off to no extent. He's cocky and he's overly confident, and in his world everything is black and white, and in Aval's world nothing is black and white. Everything is in shades of gray, which is I think why I kind of relate to her, because she has a lot of preconceived notions, but as soon as she's called on it, she gives the other people a chance, which is definitely slightly a downfall of hers when she goes and when she talks to, what's his name? Thomas? I believe it's Thomas. Conlon is, kind of masquerading as him with Kazira's help. Maybe his name's Sean Thomas? Thomas something? Thomas Smith? I can't remember. Anyway, but... basically, you know, she goes and she gives him a chance, and obviously it's for her. So I definitely love seeing Aval really open up to Storm and see them having as open communication as possible, because essentially they have to. Because in their world, essentially in Aval's world, if you don't communicate with the other person, you're gonna die, or they're gonna die. Something horrible is gonna happen, so you have to communicate with the person. But you have to communicate, and that's the thing that I love about Aval and Storm, is the fact that they're kind of like, they get into fights because they don't communicate, and then they go back and communicate, and they're like, I should have just said this, or I should have just done this. And I just love the fact that Storm is just so essentially in love with Aval. He just is so pure of heart and really just is a total gentleman about everything. I, again, really dislike the fact that basically, from a writer's perspective and an audience perspective, it kind of almost feels as though when Quinn and Zader were like, oh, Aval, you need to go and get a troll killing weapon from Isaac Knight, like that felt very forced to me. That would be... because essentially Aval's Isaac problem, and for all of us who are Team Storm, our Isaac Knight problem was gone because his memory was wiped that Aval is a bad guy, and she was pretty much never going to see him again because she now knew that he would definitely kill her because she was an alterant. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, you have to go and see Isaac, and he's gonna like rub your leg and talk about how nice you look in your jeans, and then introduce you his mom, who's going to stop him from killing you when you're revealed as an alterant, and then invite you to dinner. And I'm just really, really glad that she was basically like to Storm. Like, I will say, it was very stupid of Aval, but I also understand, because Aval doesn't have a lot of experience with human communication. So or with like interpersonal communication. So for her, maybe kissing Isaac Knight was a good thank you. Maybe kissing Isaac Knight wasn't anything that was sexual, because she even says like, kissing Isaac Knight, I just wanted to say thank you, and like it was just like a way for me to like tell him he was a friend. But like kissing Storm for her is totally different. So I'm glad that she really said that to Storm, and I'm just glad that essentially her and Storm have kind of come clean about their feelings for each other, and the fact that like Aval feels a way towards Storm that she doesn't feel towards anybody else. And the same thing with Storm, especially that whole like stupid jealousy thing with Adriana. But I also love Kai. Like, for me, Kai is like hilarious and like the most awesome like spirit guide ever. I want her as my spirit guide. But I'm also glad that Storm was the way he was when, you know, after Aval turned into her like true beast form, when like all those trolls and stuff like that, I was just like I was like, oh god, like this is when it happens, like Brina is about to die. But no, like Aval turned into her alternate form and kicked some ass. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. But I will say, matcha, I don't know, is it matcha or maca? I don't know. I'm just gonna say matcha because that's the kind of tea, and nobody pronounces maca tea. It's always matcha tea. So I'm just gonna say matcha. But basically, like, matcha, she's getting on my last nerves. I'm about to, whew, not good. So basically, matcha's aggravating me. Isaac Knight is aggravating me. Sen's a douche. And the whole Brina Zader thing with matcha, like, being sneaky on both sides, I cannot wait until that comes to fruition. And I'm really hoping that Aval understands what's going on. She talks to Brina, is like, hey, what the fuck's up with you? And she's like, oh yeah, this is what Matcha said. And then she goes to Zader and is like, hey, what the fuck's up with you? And she goes, and he's like, oh yeah, this is like Matcha and Brina, stuff like that. And Aval's like, yo, guess what? I was not part of this plan, so I can spill the beans. A plus B equals C. Boom, drop the mic sort of thing. Because like the whole, like, I understand that, like, Alan's trying to be nice, but at the same time, if they turn it into the fact that, like, Alan is actually, like, a creep, maybe that's what they're gonna do. I don't know. I really like this book. For me, it was the best book, especially because, obviously, the more that Aval and Storm get together, the happier I am. But, I just really enjoyed it. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. Like I said, let me know down below. Are you Team Isaac? Are you Team Storm? Do you like Sen? Do you not like Sen? Do you feel for Sen? Do you understand where he's coming from? The tribunal, like, are the deities like totally being fair, or are they just being like crapheads like normal? You know, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Because I'm interested to know. Also, when this video goes up, make sure to go and catch me on Snapchat and Instagram and on Twitter so that you know the next book that we're reading. I'll give you a hint. It's the 4th book in the Bellador series. There's no mystery about this. But my battery's flashing at me, so I have to go now. And I also have to go play D&D. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Book Salad Mode. Remember, keep reading. Bye.